Wilson, wait. Charlie, Wilson, wait. Charlie, Wilson, wait. So you challenge Charlotte to a match?
Ladies and gentlemen, get ready for Talkamania.
It's Rusev Day. I'm not finished with you. That, my friend, is gonna leave a mark. I love black eyes.
Where are you, Dango?
All before you were wearing a training bra.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another exciting episode of Talkamania. I'm your host, Desbino, along with my tag team partner, J-Bomb. Say hello, J-Bomb.
Hey, what's up, Des? How you doing, bro?
I'm doing good. It's nice. It's spring. It's sunny. It's really not raining anymore. I like it. It's fresh.
It's 23 degrees.
I know. For you American viewers.
What is that in
listeners,
Fahrenheit?
that's something that's not 23.
I'm going to say it's somewhere around like 75. Are you checking for me?
I am.
I could
It's
see the gears
73.
going.
It's 73 roughly.
I
73.4.
feel that's pretty close.
Yeah. So the stereotypes about Canada being cold, we can't be cold though. But you know what? We experience every season, so it gets mad hot up to like, I guess, what it would be like 85, close 85 maybe?
90 degrees. 90 degrees.
Yeah.
In the middle of the summer, yeah.
Yeah, so we get really hot. We get really cold in the winter as well too. And, we get the leaves that fall. We see the colors. We get the spring. Everything's blooming and smells
We have no
fresh and
spring.
clean.
There was no
It depends.
spring.
Sometimes it rushes into summer.
It was like snowing 3 weeks ago.
But it was raining consistently for a couple of weeks.
Yeah, that's true.
And I was
grass is
worried
fucking
because we had like a rainy summer last year. It rained like, I guess, like a good 70% of the summer. So I was like, oh no, we're not doing this again. Mother Nature and global warming is here to screw us.
Oh my God, we're boring our listeners with Canadian weather talk. It's too
Hey,
funny.
interesting weather though. When I got home on Friday last week, there was a giant windstorm. And this is like a windstorm like no other. Ontario got hit really hard, but us in Quebec, we got a bit of the brunt. And my power went out from 10 p.m. to 10 a.m. the next morning. My internet, my Videotron was out. Everything. Videotron is the cable providers over here, folks.
So what did you do?
I basically didn't know how to survive without electricity. And it's funny because we survived the ice storm like, a decade, 15 years ago? And it was cool, tumbling. You don't have electricity and,
There was nothing cool about that ice storm.
People
died.
You find
People
ways to
died.
entertain yourself. Remember we used to put like wrestling. We'd be wrestling with my brother. We put like holds on each other and have some little wrestling matches in the cold. Yeah, it was crazy though. When I went outside during this windstorm, walked around and just things were smashing, branches were falling off, wires were hanging down. Like it was intense. So
Was it better than Backlash?
It left the same salty taste in my mouth afterwards.
It seems like there wasn't anybody who enjoyed Backlash. I think the people who went, actually, I was following a few people on Periscope that were at the event, and they seem to be enjoying it. But I think if you're there live, it's a different experience.
That's
than
it.
if
You're
watching
hyped.
on
You're
TV.
going to a pay-per-view. I mean, remember, Backlash isn't one of the main pay-per-views. It's a filler pay-per-view. It's Backlash. It's what you expect. And, it didn't live up to the hype, at least for me. But we did get some good matches. I did like Seth Rollins versus
that was good.
The Miz. It was great. People thought with The Miz being involved, it was going to be questionable. But it was great. Lots of false finishes where I actually thought The Miz was going to take it. So it was excellent for me.
I can't agree with you, man. I know that Backlash is a filler, but it shouldn't be a filler. It's literally the first pay-per-view after WrestleMania. It should set the tone for the new season, and it should be the beginning of some new storylines instead of just being like, literally, like, did anything even carry over?
Well, we have the Nakamura Styles feud that's carrying on forever.
Oh, that's true. I guess that's true.
But
that
now
was actually a good
question,
match.
though. Are they killing it? Because they teased this match. Oh, it's a dream match. It's going to happen at WrestleMania. He won the Royal Rumble just for it to happen. And then it was a disappointing match for WrestleMania. And now we're getting it. Like almost week after week on dark matches as well, too. They had it this week after 205 Live. So it's like they keep really having this match that they wanted to give to us as a treat. So it's almost it's almost killing it, at least for me, a little bit. But the last match they had at Backlash, I actually enjoyed it.
It was awesome.
I thought the match was good. I liked
Me too.
the spot with the chair where it bounced off AJ's face. That sounded brutal.
Yeah, it was horrible.
The aggression in that match was good. The ending was kind of lame, but it's kind of, I mean, when have they done an ending like that before? It's kind of funny in a sense. But the 10 count, right? No DQ 10 count? What the hell?
That was weird. In the moment, I was really disappointed because I really was like, I wanted to get a payoff, but I read a couple tweets about, fans being not as patient as it used to be, and you got to wait for a payoff, and you expect a payoff every pay-per-view with every storyline. And I get that argument, but at the same time, I think with there was almost no payoffs at WrestleMania for a lot of the feuds, especially the AJ and Knock one. It wasn't a good match, so I think that we're kind of impatient with them, but
no,
I get it.
I think you had a good point, though. There really hasn't been the payoffs that we wanted there to be. I mean,
that's it.
Remember, Shinsuke Nakamura won the Royal Rumble. That's a huge accomplishment. And going to WrestleMania to finally have that matchup and then have that match kind of end. Well, it wasn't a great match, and then have him do that heel turn. I guess it was a bit of a swerve, but we didn't really feel like we got what we wanted. And then also with Charlotte, she broke Asuka's streak, and that is huge. And huge. Good for Charlotte. But then now she's going into this feud where she can't beat Carmella, and it's I don't know, man.
I agree. Yeah. I want to call you Salty Dez, but I agree.
I'm over the Asuka loss.
I think you are. Fine. I think you are.
And I'm okay with Charlotte being the one if someone's going to do it. I would have maybe made it going a little bit longer, made her pass out from pain instead of tapping out. We had this conversation so many times already.
Every time Mike says that, we got to drink, guys. Go on.
But now having her unable to beat Carmella, I'm not knocking Carmella either. I actually kind of hope that she does well.
No, but she's not a credible wrestler yet.
But then Charlotte kind of just does a moonsault, tweaks her knee and gets rolled up. I mean, I guess Carmella's got some credibility added to her. But then this week on SmackDown, the coming week from now, they're advertising another Carmella celebration. Are you kidding me? Another celebration?
What's the basis of the celebration? Because she beat her again?
I guess because she beat her again. She beat the girl who beat Asuka. She beat Charlotte. She beat Charlotte twice. Now she wants to have a celebration again. And that segment was just a little bit too long, and at the same time, okay, fine, I'll get over one of them. And I was pissed about the first one because they always go to the same recipe, but they're doing it again.
Okay,
and I'm not knocking Carmella.
Yeah, of course.
Saying they could be using her a lot more efficiently.
What if, because before we started recording, you were telling me that Charlotte has something to deal with over the next 6 weeks. She's got a injury, I guess you would call it, and she won't be on TV for a couple weeks. So maybe they're going to do the celebration, and then we're going to see a new feud with Carmella. And who do you think it's going to be?
It's quite interesting, I guess, if you want to think about it. I hadn't thought that far ahead.
Me neither. I haven't thought that far either.
I mean, news went out today. Charlotte has to have a minor surgery, I think, to repair a ruptured implant.
Okay.
And I don't know. How long will that take her out? I mean, people are rumoring that Alexa Bliss had surgery. That hasn't been confirmed yet, but she was off TV, but still on when she needed to. So will Charlotte miss time? Knowing Charlotte, probably not. Unless she wants to spend some time with Ric Flair. I don't know. But I would like to see Carmella do another feud with somebody else. Again, Charlotte had a rematch. She lost. Let's move on.
What about Becky?
Carmella might do the move to the back of the line thing, honey. I would love to see Becky. Again, we saw Becky this week on SmackDown eat another loss yet again against
Who did she
Mandy
fight?
Rose.
I missed SmackDown, so who did she fight?
What's that?
Who did Becky fight on SmackDown?
Oh, I just said Mandy Rose.
Oh, damn. Oh, yeah. I heard she had a revamped character, No More Absolution. She came on as a 2000s porn stars type thing.
Yeah, it was weird. So she was coming out to the ring. Her and Sonya were talking backstage. Paige comes over and says, "Oh no, Sonya, you're barred from ringside." And Sonya's kind of like, "What the hell?" So Mandy had to go out immediately and go down to the ring. And she was kind of like, when she came out, she was kind of like, "I don't want Sonya here. I'm awkward. I feel weird. I'm by myself." And it actually looked pretty good. How she was kind of a bit really flustered by the moment of what happened with Paige backstage, and she kind of came out.
She sold it well?
She sold that well. She did her kind of weird GTA entrance, but she was a bit different. She has some weird effects going when she comes out too with the camera. It was okay. The wrestling was mediocre, and then she ended up getting the win, I think through a roll-up or something on Becky. And I guess Becky just likes, she's a talent development, right? She likes to come in
She's
and give the
male
pin.
Dolph Ziggler, female.
Yeah,
Dolph
yeah,
Ziggler.
yeah. She is pretty much.
Wow, look at you giving credibility to Mandy Rose.
Yeah. I mean, again, if somebody can earn my, I don't want to say my respect because I'm not all that high and almighty, but I was hard on Nia Jax, and I still don't think she's where she could be. Carmella, I definitely used to rag on her a lot, but I think if they use her properly, she could be an excellent heel, maybe like a Miz version of a heel for the women. Yeah. And Mandy Rose, I'm still not sold on. I don't like her gimmick. I don't like the cookie cutter, copy paste, blonde, I guess quote unquote bimbo, and I might get some heat for saying that, but they kind of do that with her, and it's maybe more being respectful of women,
Maybe there's an opportunity for Asuka to get into the mix, because if Becky
I
just
would
lost,
love to see that.
If
But you
Becky
saw
just
Asuka this week did the promo. Like, everybody's been doing this promo backstage. Like, I'm going to climb the ladder. I'm going to go on to do Money in the Bank. And Asuka was one of the people involved too. And dude, if she was in the Money in the Bank ladder match, I would love it. I would love to see her in a ladder match. Can she hold her own in a ladder match? I think
so.
I said ladder too many times in that sentence. Ladder. Anyways, but we'll see. I would like to see a new feud. I think if she does feud with somebody, it's going to be like a fodder feud. It's going to make her look more credible. I think the plan probably is for her to hold on the title for a little bit.
Give her Tamina. Let her whip Tamina around.
What?
We haven't seen Tamina in like freaking forever.
She had surgery.
Oh, on what? Her face?
Oh, that was really mean.
Well,
ooh, boo.
I'm a mean guy.
In the boo jar. There's a boo in the boo jar.
Can I boo myself? No, I'm not going to boo myself on that. Truth hurts, man.
No. Anyways, we wish Tamina nothing but the best in SB recovery.
Yeah.
But yeah, we saw a lot of Money in the Bank build up this week, and we have all these people backstage cutting these promos saying they're going to be part of it, and a lot of it's confusing because you have the Ascension in there, you have the Fashion Police, you have, I even saw today, like Primo Colon, and it's like, okay, well, he's not going to be in the Money in the Bank, so what's going on? Is it just, I feel like this is a lazy way to put people, we just moved them to Raw, they come onto this roster, we don't have a place for them this week to be on TV, so here's this backstage promo, and they just kind of throw them into it a bunch. I feel that's more or less what it is. I don't think we're getting a giant extra one or the rumored tag team Money in the Bank ladder match. We were talking about this earlier, and if that would be the right direction to go in, because we've had tag teams talking about it. And when they did talk about it, they weren't talking about like I'll beat you or I'll beat you. It's like
the Usos did though.
Oh, did they?
Yeah, they were the only ones. They were like, whether it's you Us or you Us, and they even mentioned the WWE Championship. They didn't say tag team. They're the only ones. Everybody else kind of made it sound like it was a tag team. So
maybe it's just wishful thinking on my end. But we were also talking about the format, and I was thinking if they were going to do a tag team Money in the Bank ladder match, they should do it a little bit different. And it wouldn't necessarily be Money in the Bank they're collecting. It would more or less be they would have the tag team titles hanging from above the ring, standard style. But you'd have all these tag teams in the ring, and the first person who goes up and gets the tag team title, well, he's got a tag team title belt, and he's out of the match, or he can go on the outside, cheer on his tag team partner or whatever. I don't know. We can look into the specifics. But then the whole point is, the second person who gets that tag team title, they then become the other half of the tag team champions. So you could have these interesting scenarios where you have Tyler Breeze and his tag team champion partner is like Braun Strowman or something. And then what happens? And then what happens if they're on different shows? And
Nicholas or Braun Strowman.
Or Nicholas. Nicholas could be involved as well too. So I just think it could be something interesting to spice up and freshen up the tag team division. You might have some really odd paired tag teams. I mean, look, it worked with Sheamus and Cesaro. You never know the chemistry. You want to also not make it too predictable. Some years, hey, make the champions going into it be the ones walking out as the champions as well. But there's all kinds of cool things they could do, I find, if they do these little kind of unique matches. Something to that degree I'd like to see.
It would be cool if there was ever a vacancy in the tag team championship, like after Braun Strowman and Nicholas after WrestleMania, if they would have pulled a match like that, like at Backlash.
Great timing, yeah.
You know what I mean? I don't know if it'll work all the time, like a yearly thing, because it would be kind of weird for the tag team champions to have to drop the title.
No, I don't think yearly. I think just as an experiment. Let's try
it. It's like a one-shot deal. I'd be in for it. Go on a run. Create like a random tag team. Something that you haven't seen before.
I'm curious. Yeah. But going back onto the topic of Money in the Bank, we already have our first few qualifiers. So Braun Strowman, I mentioned him earlier, but he is going to be in the Money in the Bank ladder match. So that's going to be interesting. how's this guy going to climb a ladder? I'm thinking it's out of his element, but it makes me even more interested to watch this match because having a big guy in there like that, throwing ladders around, throwing bodies around, he'll probably bring out a giant ladder that only he can use, and maybe they'll have him use a small ladder that he breaks when he climbs up on. I mean, like, it could be fun, you know. We'll see. We also got Finn Balor in there, so he ended up beating out Roman Reigns in the main event.
It was a good match.
It was a decent match. Yeah, it wasn't too bad. And then in the end, it was interesting because we had Jinder Mahal come in and cost Roman Reigns the match. So you get what they're doing, right?
And I can't get over.
It's not going to work, man.
You understand what they're trying to do, right? They're trying to take Jinder
yeah.
Mahal, this ultra heel,
No, he's going to become a face.
have him. They're trying to get them to cheer Roman Reigns by any means necessary.
This is the greatest thing to happen to Jinder Mahal. He is
For
going to
sure.
go over.
I can't disagree with you.
He's going to go over in a similar way that Rusev Day has gone over, where people are going to be, until they fight, because I guess they're going to fight at Money in the Bank. Once their feud starts next week and it's official, everyone's going to be cheering for Jinder. And I don't know what chant they're going to do.
I just can't wait for the week where Jinder Mahal gets a roll up on Roman Reigns or something. At least once. It's going to happen once. You know, I know he'll beat Jinder at Money in the Bank for sure. He'll kick his ass. He'll spear him, all that stuff. But I know at some point he's going to get some roll up on Roman Reigns, or I'm hoping he does. And it's going to be like, wow, Jinder, what a feather in his cap, right?
Honestly, dude, the fact that he's going to be feuding with Roman Reigns alone is a feather in his cap. I got to hand it to Jinder, especially since coming over to Raw. I don't know any segment that I haven't enjoyed with him, or any time where his music hit where I was annoyed. Like, I was legitimately annoyed with him on SmackDown. And I know that they're trying to make him a heel that you actually hate, but he's becoming a tweener every single week.
He is becoming a bit of a tweener. I'm sure it's not a popular, opinion. A lot of you might not agree with us on that. But I do feel at the same time, I hated Jinder's promos, but he came out on SmackDown, talked about it, spoke in his native tongue of Punjabi. Those promos are still painful, but he's getting better, and he's working harder, and he's getting to be funny sometimes.
That's it.
He looks vicious, man. This guy's a massive stallion. I mean,
and he's gotten bigger, man. Like, I don't know if it's the longer hair or whatnot, but he looks like he's a little bit more built. But the thing is as soon as these heels throw a little bit of humor in, like when they called Chad Gable the midget from Austin Powers, and that dude had died 3 days earlier, eh?
Oh yeah, it's true. Eh?
Yeah. It was ultra heel, but it was funny. So it worked, and I think it's gonna work against what Vince wants. But I don't believe in heels being heels and faces being faces anymore. I think you're either an over heel or an over face, and if you can't get over in either one, you have to switch. Roman Reigns as a heel will get over. He will be a tweener. I don't think he could ever be an actually booed heel. I think people are gonna like him when he becomes a quote-unquote bad guy.
I think so, too. I think there's a big possibility that could happen. But to your point, I mean, there's not necessarily heels and there's not necessarily faces. It's not as a concrete,
it's not what it
A or
used
B.
To be.
Yeah, that's it. And I mean, honestly, some of the best matches we've been seeing lately are face versus face matches.
True that, man.
Balor, Seth Rollins. Oh,
so good.
These guys have been having amazing matches. So it's kind of like when you go into it and you're like, well, you don't genuinely know who's going to win. It could go either way, and it kind of leaves you on the edge of your seat because it's okay. It's okay if a good guy loses cleanly. Yeah. Honestly, it really is.
It is.
You need to be a little bit less afraid of that. And then on this week, we saw another qualifying match where Rusev picked up the win on Daniel Bryan.
Crazy.
And I think a lot of you probably were like, whoa, what the hell? What's with this booking decision? Are they trying to make Daniel look weak? Honestly, I like stuff like this.
Perfect.
It's a little bit unpredictable. I like Rusev. Give this guy a chance. And honestly, I hope he wins this Money in the Bank ladder match. I really, really do. But yeah,
picture Rusev with that briefcase as a face.
Well, Lana would carry it
face
around from at that point, I would hope.
I know, but he would just be so proud of it, and it would say Rusev Day on it.
Yeah, you make merchandise. You get a briefcase, you put Rusev Day.
Yeah, and he opened. I want to see somebody open it up.
He's already hashtagging Rusev in the bank.
Rusev in the bank, yeah.
Yeah.
Somebody was tweeting that they really missed an opportunity with Sasha Banks not qualifying. Because
I mean, I think she could have done well in the match. It could have been cool, but who's to say she's not going to?
That
Maybe
match
they'll
was
have-
amazing, too.
Maybe they'll have one last match, and then it'll
wild
be
card.
like Bayley versus Sasha for the final qualification or something like that.
we got to talk about Ember Moon and that performance. She's next level, man. She's really like, she's fantastic. She's like Naomi mixed with somebody else who I can't put my finger on. I remember thinking of it when I was watching Raw. I was like, damn, she's legitimately like a full package, man.
She's very good. I would say here, like, her whole like coming out and screaming thing. I don't. I guess it seems like she's nice, so I don't really 100% buy into it yet. But I think in terms of wrestling, yes, she is the whole package. She can put on a hell of a match. She always does. She's tough as nails.
Tough, yeah.
And it was a great match. And, she was in there with Sasha, who, is one of the better wrestlers. And she's in there with Ruby Riott, who's been very impressive.
Very impressive.
And, you have the three women tearing it up. And it was an excellent match. And the eclipse from the top rope, the double eclipse, was really, really impressive.
Yep.
I hope they don't do that too much because they've done something like that a couple times now.
Yeah,
But
it was a
save
little
it
bit
for-
like, oh, we saw that in NXT. Leave that.
yeah,
for
save it for a special occasion.
Yeah.
But regardless, awesome to have Ember Moon. She missed a Raw a couple weeks ago, so it's actually good to see her being kind of put into this Money in the Bank ladder match. I think she can thrive. I think it'll be awesome. I'm all for it.
She has a sweet ass theme too.
Yeah. I was telling you briefly, and I'm gonna not explain this properly, but she has a theme in the chorus. It talks about like something about ashes. And
Embers.
then, or Ember or something. And then the next chorus says moon.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like Ember, Moon, they kind of rotate.
Yeah, she's
It's
freaking
kinda
awesome, man.
cool.
Like, I get what you mean about her. Like, she would probably go better as a tweener heel, but I think was she a heel in NXT?
I don't remember her ever being a heel, but I only started tuning in,
I feel like she was not when she won the championship, but before that. But I could be wrong. I don't know. I can't tell. Maybe Asuka was a face-to-face. I don't know.
Asuka was a heel against Ember Moon.
Asuka was the heel?
In the feud, yes.
Really? Asuka was a heel? I
Yeah,
had no idea
yeah.
Asuka was a heel in NXT.
She was getting to be cocky and being like, no one's ready for
Cocky.
me, and I will destroy you. And then that match was what made it really good because people thought that was going to be Ember winning that match, and then Asuka would go up to the main roster. And then Asuka actually ended up winning, and it was an epic match. And then Asuka got injured during the match. She broke her collarbone.
Oh, right, yeah.
Yeah, and then dropped the title, and then came up to Raw.
Sorry, no speak English.
Speaking of not speaking English and not being, I guess, understanding what someone's doing or talking about, that Bobby Lashley promo this week.
Oh my God,
What was
dude.
it? What was the purpose and what was it about? Tell me now.
Okay. Who fucking knows? That was like, I hate the word cringe, but that was cringy, man. That was like, I couldn't tell whether it was, I don't know, man. I can never tell. I can never tell because he had so much success in TNA, right? And I don't know if like it's Vince's way of being like, come back to the WWE, let me fucking ruin all of your credibility of being a badass, and then
I just
I'll
feel like-
rebuild you.
I feel like he never really could get steam or get it going in the WWE the first time. And people were saying they didn't really want to mention his first run because of association with Donald Trump. They just wanted to play it safe.
Okay.
But they did show a lot of his first run in video packages this week, minus the Donald Trump, so I guess there was some truth to it. But regardless, what are they trying to accomplish? It just made him look really soft, really
Very
weak.
soft. Very
he loves
weak.
his family.
The thing at the end, one more thing, Renee. One more thing. I was like, oh, here we go. He's
he's
going to
telling
call
him he
somebody
loves
out.
him again.
Yeah, he's like, so-and-so, so-and-so, and so-and-so, I love you. It's like, I mean, unless someone's going to freaking, like, go to their house in a promo and beat the shit out of his sisters, this makes no freaking sense at all. Like, none at all.
You also got a close-up on his eyebrows.
Or lack thereof.
He used to have them in the video package. They showed him when he was young, and he had eyebrows.
Alopecia, man.
But, yeah, I don't know. Like, I don't know what's their plan for this guy. I feel like they need to make him a heel, and he just goes in and destroys things and doesn't talk. Make Paul Heyman his mouthpiece.
No more Paul Heyman.
I know.
I
I'm
don't
trying.
care.
I'm grasping at straws.
Everybody who can't talk, they're like, put Paul Heyman with him. And I know you're grasping at straws, man. But I'm gonna call it everybody who says Paul Heyman because I can't wait to see him go. Unless he comes back in a completely different role. I don't want to see him. I want to see him leader of a stable or nothing. Get the fuck out of here. I'm done with you. Braun Strowman, Brock Lesnar, Paul Heyman. Oh god.
So I heard this rumor that Jason Jordan was coming back this past week, but what happened? So we did see Chad Gable get a beatdown,
Yeah.
And I think people thought that was when Jason Jordan was going to come out.
Yeah, I think everybody thought that.
But he didn't. So I think that's also WWE's way of kind of messing with us and being like, oh yeah? Not happening this week.
Yeah,
So
stupid.
The reality, though, is Jason Jordan is coming back. Now the question is going to be, and I'll let you answer this one, where do you think he's going to fit coming back? Because remember, he was with Angle, he was tagging with Seth Rollins, like where is he going to fit?
Well, Angle's got nothing going on right now, right? He's got no Angle's got no angle. I would love to see him, Chad Gable, in a feud where we find out that Chad Gable is actually Kurt Angle's real son. And some sort of 3-way DNA test. But they're never going to do it because it would just be like too gold for TV.
3-way DNA test match.
Yeah.
Winner gets the papers, and they can reveal. It'd be hilarious.
Like
but,
Jason Jordan does everything he can to not get like the papers to Kurt Angle to find out that he's not really his father because he's thinking he's getting a push.
Totally Chad Gable. Should have always been Chad Gable.
Should have always been. Sure. He looks like him.
He looks like him too. Yeah, it's ridiculous that they went with Jason Jordan.
Yeah, it's a
but
shame.
they also felt like Jason Jordan needed the rub more than Gable does. Gable's a bit more credible. He's got the wrestling skills. The only thing I don't like that Gable does, he always smacks his head against the ground. You'll see whenever he takes like a bump to the outside,
really?
He'll like fly into it and smack his own head against the ground, and he does it every single week. And he did it at the Greatest Royal Rumble at all, really nastily. I thought he would have a concussion and be out. He hit his head really hard at the Greatest Royal Rumble, and he did it again this week. So he's got to be careful because he's going to hit his melon really hard one of these days, and he's going to give himself a concussion, and he's going to be out. He's going to shorten his career by doing this.
I love the saying, like getting a rub or giving a rub or needing the rub. I think that's a sweet saying, and it's very marky, and I like it. I don't know. Chad Gable's just like such a better performer, and I think it would work for both of them, an angle like that, and even Kurt Angle. Kurt Angle needs something.
Well, again, so like Jason Jordan's coming back. It's a reality. It's happening soon. And as I sit here pouring myself a cold one,
yeah,
I have to think that Jason Jordan is going to return and ruin everything. Because let's say you insert him back with Seth Rollins. Is that what they would do for the IC title?
No.
And then all of a sudden he's feuding with Jason Jordan for the IC title.
My God, no.
And then Jason Jordan somehow wins it. And you're, oh my God, because you know it's a possibility. And you're like, oh my God, they're actually maybe going to do that.
No.
Imagine that he comes back and he like...
I want to smack you for saying
Rollins, that. And he's the one that takes the title away from Seth? Oh my God.
No. You know what?
Imagine the heel heat. See?
Yeah, but that's not really... I guess it's heel heat, but that's just shitting on the belt. That's shitting on everything Rollins has done. I don't know if that's... I mean, I guess that's good heel heat. Damn it, it is good heel heat, but I don't want to see that, man. Like, not Jason Jordan.
No,
not Jason Jordan.
Another option is you put him back with Gable. And I feel that is going to be the direction they put him in, because Gable's on the roster now on Raw. They're not exactly sure what to do with him. He's having good matches, but he doesn't have an angle. Well, Jason Jordan's coming back now. It's good timing. Put them back together as a tag team, maybe. But people are going to be booing Jason Jordan, so it's going to be interesting to see where this goes. But I think just the fact that Gable got the beatdown this week, and they teased it, kind of looked like he was going to come out and he didn't. I feel like that's going to be it. I think Gable will get another beatdown next week, and Jason Jordan will come back. So
it wouldn't surprise me. It'd be very typical of WWE to do that. And I just, if they come back, just have him come back and beat the shit out of Gable too. Like, have him come out, save him, but then beat the shit out of him.
Yeah,
I don't want a tag team.
That would be excellent
run.
Because they'd be like, oh, he saved him. Oh, what's he doing? And then they can have a nice grudge match at Money in the Bank.
Like instant. I guess it's a bit of an instant payoff, but I don't want to see Gable and Jordan back together for a shitty ass run.
I know. Just to buy time. It's like, whoa.
Just to buy time, yeah.
We'll have them be a tag team, and then they can do that for a bit, and then they'll feud, and then we'll do that for a bit. Okay, we've taken care of both their storylines for the next 6 months. Moving on, and it's like, no, put some feeling into it. Put some emotion, put some creativity. Don't use the generic recipes in there. But we're going to see soon, because the reality is Jason Jordan is coming back soon. And I feel the same way as I felt about Big Cass. It's like, and I don't want to say you're knock on Big Cass. Like, he's getting good at the promos, and he's all right. I'm not a Cass fan.
What did he do
but
this week?
I actually enjoyed the time where Cass was not around because then I didn't have to have all these Cass matches taking up a segment every week, and that's it. And I mean, he's a tall guy. He's got long legs. It's inevitable he's going to injure himself again or get injured. And
What did he do this week on SmackDown?
He did a backstage promo taking credit for Rusev's win. He also did I think he came down to the ring and did a segment as well too. Basically bashing Daniel Bryan, doing the usual,
Okay, so they're continuing with that.
It seems like they are. So
Okay.
they're going to lead this into, I guess...
Money in the Bank.
Money in the Bank, yeah, because Daniel Bryan did not qualify. He will not be in the Money in the Bank match, at least as it stands now. So it looks like he will continue his feud with Cass.
I don't know. I mean, I didn't mind the match at Backlash between the two of them. It was short, but good way to get Bryan's feet wet for a one-on-one again, and I feel like it was what it needed to be.
I just feel like they're going to give a win to the Cass, so I think Cass will get a win over Daniel Bryan. That's my concern.
I'm cool with that. Whatever. Rusev just got to win on Daniel Bryan.
Well, I kind of feel like I hope they don't do that. I hope they don't be like, okay, well now you're going to give, you're going to be an enhancement talent where you're going to help the people go over. So, I mean, I was really excited to see Rusev win. It's more believable. I mean, Rusev gave that brutal kick to him, and it makes matches a bit more predictable. A lot of people going into it thought that Daniel Bryan would inevitably win, but I guess they're ultimately going to allow Daniel Bryan to continue working with Cass, and we'll see how that evolves, I guess.
Yeah. Well, Drew McIntyre and Ziggler over on Raw. What's the deal? Are they like a legitimate tag team? Or are they just two single dudes being badasses together and killing some time? Or are they going to be like in like the WWE tag team picture?
I think if they're not, they should be soon. I mean, I think we've had a lack of tag team presence lately, to be honest with you.
Especially on Raw.
And I think injecting Drew and Ziggler, they have that kind of aggression. They're both really good, talented stars. I mean, fuck, man.
They're creative.
Drew McIntyre is a beast. He is an absolute beast. He's massive. He's chiseled. He's cut. He probably has like 3% body fat.
Damn, Dez.
Well, it's funny because you look at 3MB, right? And they were like kind of a little bit out of shape at that point. Well, and now like both Jinder and Drew McIntyre are both chiseled, and they came back and reinvented themselves. So I feel like maybe Heath Slater should do the same thing, kind of. And he has a chance to do that.
Heath Slater's got kids, man.
He should go repackage himself and like work hard and grind and become aggressive and not be goofy, and maybe it would help him out because it helped the other two out. But I'm really disappointed that this week when we saw Drew and Ziggler take on Slater and Rhino, there was no 3MB reference.
I think there was, though.
No, he was like, welcome back, and then he started fighting, and that was it.
Yeah,
That's all it was. Instead of being like, he should have been like, 3MB, baby, and then Drew should have been like, yeah, and then bam, like hit him or something like that.
Was 3MB successful? Or is it a thing that WWE wants to forget about?
I guess they want to forget about it because they Drew and Jinder look ridiculous.
Yeah.
But the fans aren't stupid. They know. And I know at one point in history, they're going to be in the ring at the same time, and they're going to start chanting 3MB. I know it's going to happen at some point in time. They should at least play homage to it, don't ignore it. And it could have been cool. They could have done something fun with it, at least this week on Raw, I feel.
They've been fun to watch, Drew and Ziggler. Like, they're creative, man. They're like, their double team moves are a little bit, like, they're more thought out. They're more like they actually figured out how to do like a cool double team move that you haven't seen yet. Like where he was hanging him over the ropes and then Dolph Ziggler super kicked him. That was freaking awesome.
Yeah, it was. But then, I mean, like, does that mean he should have got pinned there because it was a super kick, or does it depend when he does a super kick that it works as a finisher, or
I don't think his finisher
again?
Anymore. Yeah, I think zigzag's his finisher.
Well, it's the tag team move, right? Otherwise, it's the super kick. I like when he did the sleeper. There's a period where he do the sleeper a lot, and I think somebody should like the jump on the back sleeper. Like he used to do that and like wear the guy down, and it'd be cool if someone just
there's an opportunity at Backlash when he was in the Coquina, where Roman was in Coquina clutch, where like he was fading, and the ref should have just lifted his arm like for the 3 drop. It would have been so much cooler. Yeah. And just like all of a sudden he like busts his eyes open like Hulk Hogan style. And
it was ridiculous, man. Joe should have won that match. He needed to win that match. Roman did not, and it was super disappointing. You saw the fans leaving when the match started. You saw the fans leaving at the end. Come on, man. WWE, wake up. McMahon, I know you are stubborn and you don't want to take the loss in this one because you've invested so much time. And you won't. But look where you're at now. You have him feuding with Jinder Mahal. Oh, my God.
And it's going to make Jinder go over. So
Talking about going over or potentially going over, what do you think next week we have the debut of Cien Almas?
What did they have? They had like a vignette again of him and Vega?
Yeah, well, they're basically, because I think Raw next week is in the UK, so they're saying, oh, we're gonna make it a special occasion. We're gonna be in the UK. We show up in style. We make it meaningful, and so they plan to be there next week. So my question is, where do you insert him moving forward?
That's a tough one, bro, because I don't want to see a squash match. You know what, man? Almas versus Jeff Hardy would be sick. If he was put into the U.S. title picture, as much as I didn't want him to be like thrown in the mid-carder, it would be cool to see a debuter go directly to like above the mid-card, somewhere between the mid-card and the top of the card. But Jeff Hardy would be a really good candidate with him. I think Almas would bring something out of Jeff Hardy that we haven't seen since his return. And I think Jeff Hardy would obviously bring out the best in Almas. I mean, Almas is, wow, he's so good in the ring, man. And
So,
Selena Vega is just freaking super hot.
So I agree on all those points. I think he's going to bring some awesome things to SmackDown. I think him and Jeff Hardy could tear the house down.
Yeah.
And I think people coming up from NXT, most usually, unless your name is No Way Jose, should be thrown into the mid-card / main event spot anyways. You've proven yourself to be a star. Granted, if there's a storyline for you available. But I'm also a little bit reserved throwing them into a title picture right away.
Maybe not a title picture, but like contending to eventually fight Jeff Hardy. Or I'd be totally content if he made his way in and won against a bigger name in a qualifier and just was in the Money in the Bank match.
Yeah,
because
that could be cool too. I think
Almas
that
in
would
a
be
ladder
yeah.
would be dope.
I think that would be an awesome place to fit him in. I also like the idea of having him with Jeff Hardy. Obviously, Hardy not being in a ladder match is like really questionable, but I guess they're figuring they can maximize the matches at Money in the Bank and have a U.S. title match instead.
Yeah.
Will it be with Cien Almas? Maybe. I could definitely see him being an easy place to insert him into this feud, but I feel like if he was put into this feud, it's almost inevitable he's going to come out on top because he's debuting on a brand. They're not going to have him go into this and be the loser. So to me, it's kind of like, okay, well, they're already kind of passing over Hardy, and unless Hardy goes against AJ Styles afterward, which also could be pretty cool. So.
Dude, there's going to be Almas, Jeff Hardy, and AJ Styles on one brand. That's like, and Daniel Bryan, and Samoa Joe.
Jeff Hardy fits SmackDown so well. He comes out, and it's like if you had him on Raw, you'd be like, oh, Jeff Hardy, he's on the match, he's going to lose, it's going to be diluted. He probably would get eaten up alive and not really cared for on the brand. But I feel on SmackDown, it's a good place for him, and he'll probably have a prominent spot each week on the show.
Yeah, he's been a good addition. He was a SmackDown guy before he left, wasn't he?
Well, he opens almost every SmackDown now. So at least in the segment that opens it, the one after it, he's been pretty prominent. So obviously they feel energy with him, and they feel it's a good way to get the crowd into the show.
Yeah, well, since Mania, I mean, Lashley we haven't been too happy with. Almas we haven't seen, but I think we both have high hopes on it. We talked about McIntyre and Moon. I don't think there's much to say about No Way Jose. You mentioned something to me before recording with AOP during the Bobby Lashley segment. I don't know if you want to share it with the listeners.
Authors of Pain, right? So they've come out. They've been having the squash tag team matches. I guess it's only a matter of time until they're put into the tag team title picture. But they actually had a squash dark match this week during the Bobby Lashley video segment. So apparently, from what I'm reading, the crowd, I guess they had the video of Bobby playing, but during the same time, you had Authors of Pain having a tag team title match. Sorry, a tag team match against some jobbers in the middle of the ring that did not last very long. And I guess it kind of shows you they're already having a hard time fitting everybody on the main show.
Yeah, well, I'm okay with AOP not being on TV. I'm not a fan. I'm not buying in yet. I don't know about you.
Me neither.
Yeah.
Me neither. I feel they're kind of an NXT tag team. They've had some really cool matches down there.
Yeah.
But I feel like it's not. They're the perfect example of one that's not going to be too great on the main roster. The Revival. I mean, look at them too. They've been nothing but squashed.
Oh god, the Revival. I don't even like to talk about them.
I'm not a Revival fan.
Was there any mention of Sanity on this week's SmackDown?
There was a vignette on Sanity. I can't recall if they said they were going to be debuting, but I know that there was the standard Sanity promo.
I'm excited to see where they're going to work in, because they're going to be the first, like, I guess it'll be the biggest stable in the WWE right now, right? There's going to be 4 of them or 3 of them.
I feel like they should take Nikki Cross.
Yeah, for sure. I think it's going to work against them. I think people are going to be chanting, "We want Nikki," and I think they're going to get hijacked, like, from the crowd. But is there 3 guys or 4 guys?
3 guys.
Oh, it's 3? Oh, okay.
So at the
New
same
Day.
time, I feel like
New Day.
it's an opportunity not taking Nikki to later on when Sanity kind of starts getting a bit stale to re-inject her, and then it's like, oh, Nikki's here, and then it kind of makes them a bit more like oomph. I want to see more men-women interaction / stables, you know, like you don't have like men coming out during women matches, or you don't have, like, it's always like they keep the women and the men so separate, I find. So when we went back a few weeks ago and when Naomi helped the Usos against the Bludgeon Brothers, I was like, thought it was so awesome.
Yeah, they went nowhere with that.
Yeah, they don't often have the two kind of like interacting with each other into that sense. So even the mixed match challenge, I think that's also what it appealed to me was, you actually had the men and the women kind of working together. I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah, but it was segregated to like a Facebook thing, so
the production was
it just
done
sort of
terribly.
like novelty, which kind of took away from me. I think they need to do that more on the main TV, or like just do it with stables. You know what I mean?
I do know what you mean.
Sanity's probably going to start it off with New Day then, if they're coming in at 3. I would assume.
Yeah, that makes a bit of sense too. New Day's been doing what they're doing on SmackDown, having matches with Cesaro, having matches with Sheamus. Well, Cesaro was this week. Cesaro picked up the win. It looked like Cesaro and Sheamus had a bit of tension backstage this week, basically debating on who could beat Xavier Woods, because Sheamus wasn't able to last week. Cesaro said that he could do it this week, and he did succeed. So I don't know if it's kind of playing into some tension in the bar, but we'll see.
Tension in the bar, eh? Well, I guess when they have a split, they'll probably have a bar fight, right?
That could be a great angle. They're gonna fight the bar in the bar. We don't just raise the bar. We are the bar, fighting in a bar.
We fight in a bar. That's it. So I guess we got to talk about some podcast news here, because we were giving away, we had a contest over the last 2 weeks to give away some merch. We asked fans or listeners to retweet a tweet and to head over to iTunes and give us a rating and review. And holy shit, you guys did awesome. I mean, we had 22 reviews across all the countries. Tons of retweets. It really went well, and we're here to announce the winner that we selected at random, and I didn't pick it. I didn't cheat. I have a video, and I'll post it tomorrow. Mr. Brian H. Waters on Twitter. It's at Brian Waters. He snuck in too last second, because his review didn't appear on iTunes, but I did DM everybody who retweeted the tweet, and I didn't see their name on iTunes, and they all showed me that they did, and iTunes is such a piece of crap product that they don't all show up. Yes. So Brian, we're gonna get in contact with you.
Congrats,
and we're gonna be sending you out.
Rocking the Talkamania merch. Check out our Twitter page. We got pictures of it. We're gonna have more merch coming out. We're gonna be having shit coming your way. More contests too.
More contests, yeah. And actually, we're gonna be putting our merch up for sale shortly. We're going to be available on ProWrestlingTees.com. We're working that out right now. Working out the deets. But they're going to be up there. So that's going to be fun. We're going to sell them for $1 million each. So we expect you all to be buying them.
So look where we've come. It's only been a little over a year, and we've grown our Talkamaniac family.
That's
We've got
right.
some nice apparel, and it's all because of the listeners, all because of you guys. So we love you. Not just Brian. Brian's extra special today, but you're all very, very special in your own way.
But I do want to mention that we have a commercial on another podcast. We decided to buy some commercial space on the Smart to Death podcast. If you guys don't follow them, check them out. I'm going to give them a free plug. At Smart to Death. Find them on iTunes. They're freaking awesome.
Check them out, guys.
Our commercial will be running on there for as long as we decide to run it on there. So check it out. It's going to be on their full length. It comes out every Thursday morning or Wednesday night, I believe. And also I was chatting with the guys over at Pro Wrestling Recap. They run a sick-ass Periscope video every Tuesday leading up to SmackDown. If you're not following them, check them out at PW Recap. They have a podcast as well. They're freaking awesome. And we got to talk about the Backlash. We forgot to talk about the Backlash predictions. We went head-to-head with World Class Podcast, the dudes over there, Fox and Ray, and we fucking whipped their ass. Did we have a perfect score? Do we have a perfect score?
No, I don't think we had the perfect score. I think
We're
there was
like,
some semantics involved. And we didn't get the Bobby Lashley KO, Zayn. We thought the KO and Zayn were going to pick up a win.
Well, that was a little bit Homer of us, was it not?
It was, but I just felt like they really badly needed that win.
They did. They really did. So I guess that wraps up another week here at Talkamania. Again, we want to thank everybody who participated in our contest. Congratulations to Brian again. We will get in contact with you. We'll be announcing it on our Twitter tomorrow as well. We'll be back next week with another episode, maybe a couple Periscopes. We'll see what's going on. But until then, for J-Bomb, I'm out of here, man. Say bye, Des.
Desmino says, Happy Rusev Day!